one important thing, if you're listening and you're going to come on the podcast as a speaker, be ready for the vibe check because we'll welcome you to the call, but you'll have to perform like a cool dance or a cool trick to be accepted. Otherwise, we'll kick you out and get another guest. So yeah, if you're
Oh
coming,
yeah,
be ready for that.
yeah. Our acceptance rate for the invites is just gonna go. It's gonna drop. I just sent one out. It's gonna get canceled right away. Okay.
Welcome to the Product Weekend podcast with Brito, Moita and Tojal. We hope you enjoy.
Hello, hello, my friends. How's it going?
Hey
Hello.
everyone.
All good here.
All good. Ready for the first episode of the Product Weekend podcast. Before we jump in, just a brief overview of what we're going to talk about today, so that you know, and also you can skip if you think we're too boring. But I think you won't need to do that. So we'll start with some introductions, a bit of our background, why we're here, why we decided to get in this project together, and also what you can expect from each of us. And then we'll talk through the structure that we have planned, like what topics we'll cover, where we want to go, and also just saying that from the beginning, you can always reach out to any of us with feedback. It's more than welcome. We want to improve for sure, so feel free to reach out and let us know what you think. And yeah, and also at the end of the episode, we'll let you know of who is going to be our first guest. And the second, do you think we can already announce the second, or should we keep the suspense?
Let's keep the
Wait,
suspense. Only saying that we
okay,
already have
only
the
the first
second
one.
one.
All right,
Sounds good. Sounds
cool.
good.
Let's start with the intros then. Tujal, do you want to go?
Yeah, of course. So, hello everyone. My name is Antonio Rocha. As Moit already said, people call me Tojal, especially here in the tech world. I'm a product manager. I'm kind of the youngest in the field, so I've only been a product manager since March 2023, so not that long ago. And I'm working at MobiWeb. So it's a tech company here from Porto. We specialized in mobile apps, so mobile and web apps really, mobile development specifically. That's where I've been working since now for 2 years actually. But I got a kind of very different background, which I think is interesting to just kind of mention, uh, because products is such a broad category, and we got people coming from all the products. So it's interesting to understand kind of a bit of our background to see how we got here. So I initially worked in hospitality. So I studied management, and then I went into tourism and hospitality, and I started managing restaurants. I worked in hotels. I also worked in a online travel. And in 2020, I was owning a tour operator here in Portugal that I've been doing for 4.5 years at the time when COVID hit, which was a big shift in my career. So unfortunately, I had a lot of time to think at that time, as many people did. And I decided at the time I was done with tourism, and I was going to change my path. So I decided to pivot into tech. That's really the beginning of my tech career. Although, as my friends here already know, I've been connected to tech for a long time. So both my parents are in IT. My father even owned a computer shop for a long time. So that kind of was supposedly is going to be my regular path until I diverged and went into economics and tourism. But that was going to be my path. So I finally came
You just
back
wanted to
to
be a rebel.
basically, yeah. I tried to be a rebel for some time. It didn't work out, so I had to come back. So I initially got into tech by I did a degree, so a 1.5 year degree to learn how to be a full stack programmer. So that was kind of my beginning, and I started as an iOS developer with zero experience at mobile web. So that was kind of fun, just going into a role knowing nothing about it. But the people there trusted me. People at mobile web trusted me that I was going to be able to learn it. So for 6 months I was just learning basically until I finally got my first client, and they're still with us, so that's a good sign. Something went well. Um, but the thing is, I had all of this business knowledge I've been acquiring for a long time, as I said, a long time owning my own business, working in sales, working in customer support. And I was trying to, basically at the end of 2022, I was trying to think, how could I pair this knowledge, because I was kind of getting going deeper in the tech world, in the technical side of it, and I was feeling like I couldn't use my business knowledge as much. So I started looking around, and that's when I found product management. So I knew about product owners, but I never heard about product managers. So when I found out about it and I started learning more about it, I realized this is going to be my thing. So I finally could put together my business knowledge, my tech knowledge into a position, and use both at the same time. So we didn't have any product manager in mobile, so I was going to be the first one. But thankfully, Marcio, the CEO, had this idea of creating a new product that we could sell out, kind of picking up from an app that we've been building for a long time that solves an internal problem. We could basically sell it because it's going to solve problems for other companies as well. And I applied. I applied with the product manager. Again, he accepted. Once again, no experience, so another chance to kind of prove I could do it, and that's what I've been doing. So for a few months now, and we're building this product that is not out yet. Hopefully, it's going to be out when this episode airs. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, we manage to do it and keep and stick to the deadlines. So I'm not going to reveal too much about it, but just to give an idea, it's going to be a product that hopes to optimize the hybrid work. So basically, people that want to go to the office, we're going to go through three different paths. So reduce the barriers of people that want to go to the office, also incentivize them with rewards, and at the same time create these dynamics that are gonna build up the bonds between the people. So that's kind of the plan. We'll see how that goes. It's not out yet, but hopefully it will be out in a short period of time. So
Nice.
that's basically me
Super.
in a nutshell, as they say, right? so
Super
so
cool.
passing
Congrats
the
on
ball
your
back to
path.
you. Thank you, man.
Yeah, and I think the common theme there is jumping into things without having any experience.
Yeah,
Now,
I guess
jumping
I'm.
again to the podcasting life with these two giants of the
Giant.
Portuguese.
No. I keep fooling
Basically.
people. I keep fooling people through my path, making them
Yeah.
believe I can do things, and then eventually I just make them. That's it.
Yeah. No, let's see. Let's see if we don't have to fire you in the meantime. Brito, do you want to make a quick intro?
Yeah, let's go for it. So I'm Brito, I'm Rui Brito, I'm from Braga, born and raised. And now right now in my career I'm a product manager at CleanWatts. It's a clean tech company based in Coimbra. Our mission is to decarbonize the world and put it a better place for everyone. Most of it through renewable energy communities. That's a new concept. Well, not that new, but 4 years, so it's quite a thing that people are still figure it out. But it's really one of the key concepts of the future regarding energy, and I'm really thriving and loving this experience of basically join two of the passions, energy and product management. And why energy? At my background, academic background, my master is in mechanical engineer, but specialize in renewable energies. During my academic life, I discovered I didn't want to be an engineering per se. I was like, it was a rough time actually.
I guess that's familiar to many product managers that come from engineering backgrounds. That was a
Saying
common
the stuff
feeling.
I'm saying, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty much the typic. I'm the typic guy if we can have a normal guy entering in product management. But yeah, so basically during my academic life, I used to be in a lot of academic organizations such as ESN, Erasmus Net Network, and well, a lot of other ones. And I discovered that I really enjoyed being with people, organizing things, seeing things coming to life and being part of that. I really enjoying like the journey. It was not only the goal, but the journey was something that really putting me out of bed during the mornings or afternoons. Well, you could choose. Yeah, and then I discovered what was project management when I was organizing a big tour, a Euro tour with my musical group from college. We were playing in Portugal, Spain, France, and Italy. I was the one organizing it, and I was like, yeah, I did it, but I'm sure that we can have something simpler and easier to do what I just did. And then I discovered that the name of that was project management. And I started studying it. I went to a summer school in Utrecht where I had like a big deep dive in project management. When one of the greats for me is Gilbert Silvius. He's a machine, and it was really great. I learned a lot. I learned a lot of concepts. We put it in practice as well. Was awesome. When I arrived to Portugal again, I was like, okay, now I have the theory. I want to be able to keep pushing this in practicals, the practical side, but not in the musical group. Not. I want to be more focused towards like the company wise and that culture of the
Yeah.
professional life. With that, I discovered Young Crew Portugal, another project management association. I was then until the late 22. I was president when I left Young Crew, and yeah, right now I'm part of Apogep. That's the senior association. I'm part of the board of Apogep as well, trying to push forward project management and but in reality leadership and management towards a better world. But you guys are seeing I'm saying a lot of project management and not product management. But yeah, that happens because at the beginning of my career I was a
Wait,
project
is there a
manager.
difference?
Sorry.
Is there a difference?
Oh, we can have
Isn't
time for
this?
that after. Yeah, we're gonna have time for that in our episodes. I'm
Yeah.
sure we're gonna talk about the different within those. But yeah, I started as a project manager in at DevScope. It was a great experience. I was part of the BI and data analytics team. We were I was it's basically a consulting company that we worked really specific with Microsoft products around the globe. I was part and the luck to have clients in US, Dubai, well, you can name it, almost we had them, and it was really really great to see the experience. But then I was feeling a little bit trapped because I wanted to be able to put my well, the things I say about my creativity on place. And as a project manager and in the structure I didn't have that chance. So I really wanted to be a little bit with my hands on the duty. And with that, I found Talkdesk. I joined Talkdesk, and it was a hell of a ride. It was really good. I had a friend of mine, actually, Francisco Pinto Leite, that I'm sure that a lot of you already heard about him. He was my manager as well, and having that, like, the real clash with product management. Oh, I'm having trouble saying the word. But yeah, having the experience with them was really a one of a kind. But then now, also a then, right? And then I was like, now I know what's product manager management. Wow. Now I really want to put this into what I like, and that's how clean what's fall. And yeah, I'm loving it since day one. And finally, because I'm talking a lot, I also was the founder, and I'm the founder of a podcast named Amigos com Projetos. Mostly is in Portuguese, but and we already have some episodes already in English. You can have the two follows, so Product Weekend Podcast and Amigos com Projetos. It's not too much. And yeah, basically it was the way I found to speak with people that normally you think you can't reach. And well, I was doing that for the others that think that I was doing the hard part, but by the end it's the easiest one, because it's you just have to like be a child again and do the questions you dreamed of and hear them talk of what they know. And basically it's also what we're gonna do here, and it's perfect. Moita, back to you, and now it's your time.
Super cool. Yeah. Thanks for the intro. I was afraid that Tujal's intro was going to be too long, but I think you managed to beat him. Congrats.
Oh no.
No, just kidding. It was perfect. Um, yeah, so let me also give a bit of my background. I'm also from an engineering background, aerospace, but I realized that I didn't want to work as an engineer early in my degree. So I started getting involved in associations, like Brito said, and also Tujal was also in this kind of organization. So that's a common theme. um, and yeah, doing that I realized that I was also more passionate about like managing teams, managing projects, working with people, creating new things. I was also coordinator of an international department and launched some new programs. Actually, like just last week I saw one of the programs that I had created reaching an end and presenting at a big conference and so on. So it was super cool to see that work still ongoing. Um, but yeah, when I started looking for a job, I was in between startups and consulting. That's one thing that I always try to do when I make decisions is to make the decision that keeps the most doors open. So avoiding committing too much unless I'm 100% sure that's the right path. So yeah, with that idea, I was what my goal was to explore a bit the business world and also the tech world and understand where I would fit better. And yeah, I ended up at a startup, landing jobs, as some of you may know. And there, a bit by accident, after a couple of months, I became a product manager. Yeah, when I started, it was venture developer, which was already a little bit product management, but didn't use that word for it. And after killing two projects in 4 months, they decided, okay, let's give you one product for you to manage and see where it goes. Um, yeah, spoiler alert, it was also killed after some months. But yeah, but that one was still saw the light of day, and we still launched it. It was cool. But yeah, when I was there as product manager, I had to figure a lot of things by myself. I felt a bit lack of guidance and like even though I was working with many people in like marketing, in development, design, I was feeling a bit alone in my role and having to make some decisions, also feeling a lot of imposter syndrome, as most probably if you're working in product management, you're familiar with these types of feelings. And yeah, what I since I had some experience, well, when I started looking for this support outside, like reaching out to other people that were in a similar position or that had a bit more experience, I realized that this was a common pain among product managers. And since I had some experience organizing events with my previous experiences, I decided to give it a try and launch an event for product managers. Very low, like low expectations and low risk as well. Like worst case scenario, only a handful of people would join and I would still have a cool weekend with those 5 or 6 people. But actually that was not what happened. There was a lot of interest from the community. We sold out like all the events until now. And yeah, in that first event there was already like companies interested in sponsoring and being involved in the product community. So yeah, I did that first one, then did another one in November, so this in 2022, and this year I organized two more in May and July, and more recently, so in January I started working as a consultant in product people, as product management consultant, um, and eventually I realized that I was pushing myself a bit too hard on doing the two things at the same time, and that Product Weekend was getting enough traction that I could focus on it full time and eventually make a living out of it. Um, well, still on the way there. But yeah, so since July, I've been focusing on growing the Product Weekend. We have now two events coming up already sold out in Porto and almost sold out in Lisbon. So don't know when exactly this will go out, but maybe it will be sold out by then. If not, check the website and maybe you can still join in October in Lisbon. But yeah, the goal now is to go to other cities, reach more people, help more people of the product community, find these support networks and these groups that can help them grow. Um, and also, that's why we decided to start this podcast to also reach more people, help more people find the kind of support that we were lacking and feeling the need for in the beginning of our careers. So yeah, that's about it. And I think now I I overdid the introduction and was probably the longest one. But yeah, hope
No,
it
I
was not
think
too boring.
we pretty much match each other, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
good.
very similar.
that's cool. That's cool. That's fair. All right, then let's jump to the second part, which is giving a bit
Yeah,
more context about what we're going to talk about.
yeah,
So to start with, as already mentioned, the goal is to help people in product management or people transitioning into product management. So if you're working as a designer, as a developer, as a project manager, and you want to transition into product, or if you've been like 2 3 up to 2 3 years in product management, especially this first season is targeted to you.
yeah,
It's not that it's not going to be valuable to more experienced people, because we'll have really amazing guests. You'll know the first one in a little bit. So there will always be things to learn from their experiences. But the way we are going to lead the conversations is to give this support for younger, not necessarily younger in life, but younger in product management.
yeah,
So we hope that that will fit those needs. And yeah, we are focusing here because this is a pain that we felt, and people around us also felt, not knowing where to go, like lacking some guidance, some mentoring. And that's a bit what we want to build with this podcast, that the people that will come here can serve as your like remote distant mentors, that they can
yeah,
inspire you with their experiences and with their knowledge. um, and and yeah, what you can expect is an episode every 2 weeks, with insights and with a guest experienced person in the product space. Not only not necessarily only product managers, but also eventually people in product operations, people in engineering management. We'll try to have a diverse group of people to share experiences around product. And yeah, we hope that this will be helpful for you. And once again, we are more than happy to hear your feedback, get your insights. If there are specific guests that you like us to bring to the podcast, please let us know. And yeah, I think that's it from my side.
Yeah, so now let's go for the how this is going to work. More of the structure, the format, the dynamics that we have, because as you can see, we are three. That's not normal numbers for podcast, or well, normally it is, but it's already with the guests. So how we're going to do this? We're going to have a hosting dynamics completely different from the normal thing. We're going to have a host, a sidekick, and the one that's going to be left out. And then we're going to swap in a rotational dynamic. So the host will be the sidekick, the one left out will be the host, and so on. And I think we can already say that for the first one, we're going to have Moita and Tojal. As Moita as the host, Tojal as sidekick, I'm going to be out. So for the second one, I'm going to be the host, and so on. I
yeah,
think you get the dynamics of this. The format and how are we seeing this can be a thing. Basically, it's going to be a completely informal talk, as you can expect. It's going to be, we want to be your friend when you are dog walking, when you are commuting to work, or from work, or from a date, whatever. We want to be with you in the times you want to learn, but in a more relaxed way. And that's the way we like to talk. That's the way also we like podcasts. So basically, we're going to do the same here. We're going to follow the same format, and everyone that's coming here as our guests, they also have the same vibes. So I'm sure, and they pass through a vibe check. So I'm sure that you guys will really like the environment we are creating here. Is a safe space for you to learn and chill a bit as well. And the structure, we're gonna have our podcast in the more or less structured way. So you can expect the beginning to be a little bit more of a icebreaker. At the end, you're gonna have some release notes of what happened. In the middle, well, it's the juice that normally you are used to when you're talking about podcasts. But yes, we have that little caveat at the end of the release notes that are really cool topic. So it's more or less the too long didn't listen here. So yeah, it's gonna be a cool thing.
Yeah.
Tojal,
Yeah.
explain us the frequency of this.
Yeah, Brito,
Yeah.
just one thing
Yeah, yeah.
before, one important thing. If you're listening and you're going to come on the podcast as a speaker, be ready for the vibe check because we'll welcome you to the call, but you'll have to perform like a cool dance or a cool trick to be accepted. Otherwise, we'll kick you out and get another guest. So yeah, if you're
Oh
coming,
man.
be ready for that.
Yeah, our acceptance rate for the invites is just gonna go. It's gonna drop. I just sent one out. It's gonna get canceled right away. Okay. Well,
I'm done
what
for
can I say?
September.
You don't accept cancellations. Whoever said is coming is coming. So just a few notes. So Moit already said it's going to be bi-weekly. So we're going to do it every 2 weeks. We're going to launch an episode, and we're kind of aiming at the 45 to 90 minutes range in terms of length. Just kind of keep it interesting, but not too long. Um, I guess I don't think we're gonna mention the dates right now. So just so you know that the two episodes, the first two, probably gonna come out in 2 weeks in a row. In this case, just for a specific reason we can explain later, but not now. But that's gonna be the exception, and then it's gonna be every 2 weeks. So Paul, we expect an episode. So if you're listening on the day we launch, expect another one next week. In terms of distribution platforms, we're going to do all the regular ones. I don't know where you're listening to this, but we're going to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and you're going to be able to see our pretty faces on YouTube. At least my pretty face. The other two, I don't know. You can just look at me. And just so you know, we're going to have a website. So the website already exists. It's called theproductweekend.com. You've probably been there. You're just going to find it under podcast now. All the info you want to know about what's going on here, what we have in plans, what we've done. Probably going to have some of the transcripts of the podcast as there as well, so you can look up the content. So it's going to be interesting. Just check it out when you can. And I guess that's it, at least from my side. So Moita, back to you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, then I think we can wrap up the episode even under 30 minutes.
Wow.
Let's
We
go.
nailed it. We were afraid of making it too long and boring.
Now
But
Moita is going to
yeah.
do the funny dance.
Yeah,
Just to
get
give an
ready.
example.
No, not this time. Maybe another day. Let's see what our audience thinks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's about it. I think we gave an overview of what we are planning, what we want to bring to you, and once again, feedback for us is very important. Don't hesitate. Like if you have anything, like literally anything, it can be that Brito doesn't know how to pronounce product management. It can be
Yeah.
as small as that.
I'm promised I will
Any
learn.
feedback
I
is
will learn that.
welcome. Feel free to reach out to any of us on LinkedIn. So please, if this resonates with you, if you think you can get value out of this podcast, make sure to subscribe, to rate. Well, maybe wait for the first episode to see how it's going and if you really like it. But we'd really appreciate to have your feedback. If you can help us reach more people, if you can share it on your LinkedIn or on your social media, wherever, or with your friends, it would be great. And we'd really, really appreciate that. And now, the moment you've been all waiting for. Who's our next
Basically.
guest?
The only
Any
minute, the only
guesses?
actual part that people want to know is not what you're going to say now. So please.
Yeah. The first guest on our podcast will be André Albuquerque. If you're in Portugal, you most likely heard of him. He's an amazing figure. Actually, just this week he was acknowledged as top product management voice on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So if you don't follow him, he has a lot of great content. He's also managing the 1 month PM, which is a great course and a great companion or add-on to this
Yeah.
podcast and to the product weekend events, especially if you're starting or growing your career in product.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited to have him. We are going to discuss very, very interesting topics. There's one in particular that I'm super excited about. I'm not going to reveal it now,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's see how that goes. And yeah, and then 2 weeks after that, it's gonna be someone super, super interesting. Then I guess it's a wrap.
Yeah,
Anything
it is.
else? Do you have the release notes?
Well, not this time. I guess
Not today. Not
that's
today.
no, not today. Not today.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. Then
Yeah.
see you next week.
Have fun,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Please keep listening. This is gonna be the worst one, so stick to the other ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thanks.
Cool.
See
Bye
ya.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.